Hi, I'm Anita from Needles and Hooks, and welcome to episode I have no idea 36 of Yarn With Me. If you could be so kind to like, share, subscribe, join the Discord. The link to that is in the description below. Today, per the usual, I will be catching up my temperature blanket. This is the April block I'm putting on the bottom border. I was working on it last night and I was like, I can't work on this no more. So I set it down and I was like, okay, I'll just spend my Yarn With Me time sewing this, crocheting this together, and then working on the rest of the April strip for my knit temperature blanket. So I do not have my phone over here because something keeps depleting my battery. I have not been able to figure out what is causing it. So I went on to Google and looked up an online timer, and I've got one set for 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. There we go, and it's counting down. I have no idea if it's going to alarm. I've never used it before, so I guess we'll find out. So I'm going to work on this part and get this together as best as I can without driving myself completely insane. If I thought about it, I would not have done it this way. I would have chosen a different way to put them together. If there was a way to like work them together as I go, that probably would have been a lot better. Where is the end of my yarn? It's over here. What the heck? All right, hang on here. There we go. It was buried in between both sections. So let's not do that. Let's get it lined up here so I can actually start doing it. There we go. Now I may single crochet across to the best of my ability, and I kind of want to get this done and then get started on the knit one. And of course my phone goes off over there, and well, I'm not dealing with that phone right now. That is not happening. Unless it rings, then I have to pause. But I highly doubt anyone's going to call me. Trying to get my ends out of the way, which is not easy. This is so fussy. Yeah, make sure you can see what I'm doing. Here we go. Wink. Alright. Yeah, so kind of still battling that upper respiratory thing. It's slowly going away. It's going away not fast enough. That's for sure. Oh jeez, let's not get off our thing. That's one thing I hate about this. You line it up the best you can and you still get your seams offline. Let's try that again, shall we? There's my yarn. If only I could have come up with a better way to do this than what I'm doing right now. Because this is an absolute pain. Trying to keep these together, and I'm working, I'm using the outside yarn of the black skein that I'm using for the knit temperature blanket, because I didn't want to have like 5,000 skeins of yarn up here, even though I already do. But I'm trying to keep this to where it's a little more manageable. I've got projects for my shop laying about that I'm trying to do. Well, there's one there. Then I got a tutorial project off. Well, you can sort of see the skein of yarn. It's that red heart burgundy skein sitting right there. That's attached to a blanket. Not sure how big I'm going to end up making that. Right now I need to get it to round 24 just to double check and make sure it's not going to do that like ridiculous scoopy corner thing like it was doing before, which is why I had to frog it. Because I don't want my corners to be scoopy. I want everything to be nice and even, and not annoyingly ridiculous. And it's taken some time to get it there too, because I'm trying to catch this up and then work on my business, try to get that ready to go. I did not yet again take photos this weekend. It's just too much stuff going on. I need to come up with a game plan and do the like photograph ones that I need to measure, and then get all that written down somewhere. So when I go and add it to my shop, I'll have all the information I need, including laundering instructions, because that's important for the stuff that you can wash. The scrunchies you can't really do that with. So I'm just working my way across this piece. I've got just a little bit more to go. And then I'll find my little scratch paper and get ready to start on the knit one. I'm gonna need to have a little bit more yarn from the outside of that skein, because I'm running out of what I grabbed last night. I wish the lighting was better in here, because trying to see black yarn is just a little problematic. Be nice if I could had a bigger place and I could get have a recliner, or I could sit on the couch and do this. It has better lighting so I can see what I'm doing instead of fighting over here at this ridiculous desk. And then I'm not going to start on the catching up May until all of this is done and I get the knit strips sewn together. Which, if I was smart, I would have slip stitch crocheted them together, because it would have been a lot quicker. Instead of getting a length of yarn and then whip stitching the whole thing. But I've already started doing it that way, so I will stick with doing it the hard way, instead of something that would have been a heck of a lot easier. Almost at the end of this. Almost. And of course it starts being problematic right when you get towards the end. Sorry, concentrating on trying to get this finished. It has been a rainy, dreary day today. It's, I think, still raining, even though I don't hear anything hitting my air conditioner, but I peek out the cracks in my blinds and I saw some rain falling, so it's supposed to rain, I guess, the rest of the night, and for the next 2 days it's supposed to rain. Which, it's fine, we need it, but man, I'm not looking forward to those cold temperatures. It's supposed to be like the 40s and 50s. I'm not sure what it's supposed to get down to overnight, probably in the 30s or something ridiculous. And there, that part's done. Yay! And here is April. April's all done. Yay! Go me. Alright, I'm going to set that aside. Over on my poor piano. I'm going to find my scrap paper. Knocking over yarn. There you are. Alright, scrap paper has been found. Pencil. Where has my pencil been? Where are you, pencil? That's the knitting needle. Where is my pencil? I might have to pause so I can find it. Pencil has been located, so I'm going to restart my timer. Got 20 minutes, 55 seconds to go on this. Let's see. I need to... Was it purple and varsity gold? Oops. Alright, so let me maneuver this. There's purple. Need to grab my project here. Get it facing the correct way. Turn my skein of yarn around. Detach. See, this is what I got left. Turn that around. Why am I stuck? The end back over there. Varsity gold is first, and then purple. So I need to maneuver some stuff out of the way, because here's varsity gold. It's right here. All right. Let me get this first row. 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get our varsity gold. That, and I'm gonna tie it. Oh, I wish the lighting was better, or if it was still sunny outside, that would be more better. Yeah, that's correct English. There we go. Back. This off. Get that in the front, flip it back. My yarn out of the way here. Give me a sec here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, there we go. Get our yarn back to that side. Now I can like start marking rows off. So there we go. I just needed to get that set up first. Yeah, currently watching storm chasers in Texas. Waiting for things to fire off while I'm doing this. So if it gets spicy on that live stream, I'm gonna pause this and watch them, but so far nothing's happening, which that happens. It's never guaranteed, but they'll be there if things happen, and when people need help, they'll be right there to help. So I'm working on new patterns for things. I've got a market bag I'm designing sitting off over here. Not sure how I'm going to do the straps yet. I haven't gotten to that point. I think I need, let's see, I think I finished round 2, 4, 8, 14. I think I got 14 more rounds to go, and then I'll check to see if I like the length of it. If not, I'll do two more sets of rounds. I'll do another 10 rounds. I did go through and grabbed all my cotton yarn and made myself a little inventory sheet, spreadsheet, so I can see what I have, and I'll mark it off when I use them. But I don't have every single colorway of the cotton yarn I have. I mean, that would be great, but I don't have space for that. I don't even have space for the yarn I do have. So that's why I'm trying to work through it as quickly as possible. Making small projects. I'm working on, not only am I working on a market bag, I'm also going to be making can cozies and working those out so I can make patterns and put them up on my shop for sale. I'm just basically, what I'm doing for mine is creating a whole variety of things, just throwing it out there just to see what sticks, what sells, what doesn't, you know. That way I can make an informed decision on what I should make more or less of for my shop. Because I don't want to just do like a specific set of things. I want to do a variety of things, which is how I've always wanted to do it. I need to probably need to ask if I can put links back to my patterns for the stuff that I make, that I have patterns that I've written for, if that's even a possibility on that site. I'd have to email support, or if they have a way for me to put written patterns up to sell on there, I could do that too. But I haven't gotten to that point yet. So that's why I'm behind on my temperature blanket. Uh-oh. This is like, oh, crud. Well, dealing with it now. I didn't get the black yarn on the other side too well. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see if I can fix it now. There we go. Flip. Alright. Not as disastrous as I thought it was going to be. And I completely lost my train of thought. Checking my timer. Got 13 minutes left before we take our break. Which maybe I could get through this specific day before that happens. That was row 6. Got 2 more rows of this color. And then I switched to purple. I would like to get May completed during this session, but I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it, but I'll get really, really, really close. I want to at least get the color work done before I start doing the last 38 rows. That way I could just focus on that and not have to worry about cutting and attaching new color yarn. Row 7. There we go. Now we're on row 8. And we can switch from Varsity Gold after this to purple. And I think that's the only time I'm using purple. I think the rest of it is lilac. I'd have to look here in a sec. Well, after I get the purple portion done. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have made 2 temperature blankets. Should have just picked one. Would have been so much easier to deal with. Alright, that was row 8. Now we'll get ready to do purple. Here in a sec. Uh-oh. Yarn barf, yay! Fix that here in a sec. Can we not have... There we go. That's fixed. So now, I'm going to add my purple. The low temperature for, I think it was May 28th. I think I'm working on the 28th. I cannot remember because I don't have my spreadsheet right in front of me. It's in the background behind something else. Okay, so I'm going to cut Varsity Gold and get that out of the way. Tie it to my purple yarn. There we are. Okay, just need to flip it back and put black yarn in front and get that out of the way. Flip it back over, and then I can start weaving these ends in as I go, which it's always a pain to get them started because on this I'm not really leaving really long tails, just shorty tails that I can like manipulate, because who's going to look at the back of this? Not me. It's just going to be used as a blanket. There we go. 2, 4, 6, 7, yep. 8, 9, 10. Alright. Let's get this out of the way. There we are. Write it down so I can keep going. Got 8 minutes left. I don't know if I can get 7 more rows done in 8 minutes, but I guess we'll find out. And I've gone not talkative because I never have a plan. I never have a plan for these sessions, just like with the vlog. I don't ever have a plan for those. I just do it whenever. And I'm trying to get better at it. You know, it's just been difficult being sick. Still slightly sick. Almost over it. If it just wasn't so gonna be like dreary and rainy and generally crappy for the next 3 days, I probably had gotten over this a lot sooner. I guess we've hit our rainy season, or at least attempt of a rainy season here in Colorado. My fingers don't want to work. I still have not gotten my block 6 finished on my double knit blanket. I do need to spend some time with that, but I got to get this flippin' knit blanket caught up. It's like the April one is done, and I can't attach it to anything until we get through May and June, where I put those together and then put those 6 months together. so I can get on with it. This one, I'm going to need to hand stitch 2 strips together, one right after the other. And I need to clear off more of that table in order to do it. And I just haven't done it yet. I want to get this strip finished before it gets to that point. This probably won't be the last time you see this temperature blanket on a Yarn With Me episode. Haven't really started any new personal projects, but never say never. Most of it is ongoing things that I need to get done, like the 10-stitch sock blanket, and I did acquire some 3 balls of sock yarn, so when I run out of that cake I can start using those and get those done, and then get more sock yarn and keep going until it's completed. Because I was like, I don't want to buy a whole bunch of sock yarn all at once. Maybe, yeah, like 3 or 4 balls of it. I only managed to find 3. So next time I go to do it, get a variety. Because those 3 are all the same colorway. I gotta count what row I'm on once I get back to the right side, because I think I miscounted. I have to look, because this should be like, this isn't 5, this is an odd number or even number on the back, and I just put, or is that 5? No, that's 5. But I will have to count when I get back to the front. Just to make sure I'm not going to mess it up. Alright, hurry up and get across this so I can count my rows. And it's always going to look like 1 row less than what it is, because that's the nature of garter stitch. 2, 4, yeah, so I just completed 6. I got 2 more rows. I got less than 3 minutes left. Maybe I can get the 2 rows done. And I might just go ahead and do the 2 black rows afterwards, just to like get it caught up to finish this specific day. If the strip would stop falling on the floor, I wouldn't have so many problems. Row 7. Okay, write that down. 1 more and purple will be done. And I think that'll be all for the purple skein of yarn, and I will put that away during my break, so it's off the desk. Okay, that's row 8. So I got 2 black rows to do, and then we'll take our break, regardless if the alarm goes off or not. Still don't know how it's gonna alarm. We have less than 45 seconds before that happens. Eek. But I will finish the second row. I just need to cut my yarn. That timer will go off before I finish, but I'm gonna finish this part and then take a break. Dang it. The alarm's going off. Wow, that was uninspiring. All right. There, timer's done. I've got it reset for when we go again, but I need to get across, do these 2 rows, so I can then clear off this 1 skein of yarn, and then take a break, and then get ready for the last 30 minutes of our session, which this part shouldn't take too long. All right, that's 1 row. Got 1 more to go. 20 little stitches. ten more stitches to go, maybe. And we are finished with that one right here. I wish this was like proper colors, but anyway, I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna take my break, and then we'll come back at it afterwards. Go ahead, take your break. You deserve it. And I'm back. Got my water. Got some hydration going on. Getting ready for the next day, which is, I do believe, the 29th. Yep. The 29th of May needs to go on next. Let me get this set and ready before I restart my timer. The next 2 colors are Varsity Yellow and Lilac, and then after that is Varsity Gold and a Lilac. So purple's been put away, so I can move my poor floppy black skein over. There's that. Got my needles at the ready. Hit Varsity Yellow first, and we restart my timer. There we go. Get my chasers back up on my screen. Still nothing spicy going on over there, but that's okay. We got all the spice we need right here. Again, let's get me started. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let me get Varsity Yellow. Ready to go. Why? Trying to do this is difficult. At least I'm only dealing with 1 yarn end on this pass, and not 2, but will once I go to do the low temperature for the day. Alright, that's set. This is, oops, let's not take that in front. Black yarn's in front. This is back over here. And we get on our way across this row. Get stuff set so I'm not fighting with things in the way. like I always do on my desk, because my desk is so cluttered. I hate this desk. Dang it. Can we just not wrap our yarn around my needle on the back side, please? Here we go. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So, I hope you all are doing well. You must forgive me for not asking at the beginning. I have a tendency to like get focused and get going without being proper. So I hope you're working on your projects and getting them ever so close to being finished. This won't be finished until probably after the 1st of 2026, because I have to do a border. Oh, nuts. Here we go with this again. Yarn. Let's see. Can I do this now? The struggle is real. I'm on the struggle bus today. I'm on the struggle bus so much you'd think I'd own the whole franchise. There we go. Let's try to not get messed up here. Keep my yarn out of the way of my other yarn, and this keeps falling to the floor. But we keep pressing forward. If I was a little speedier, I'd probably like have 100 products ready to go. It's just I get into fits of like on, how much of this do I need to make? Do I want to start something different? You know? That's why I made like, I have my inventory list, but I also made a separate sheet of what types, what things I have and how many I have of that specific thing. It's like the most items that I have the most of are my scrunchies, which those total 27 right now. I don't want to make any more at this time because I'm thinking, because I do have a small, medium, and a large, and I'm thinking about making an extra large, which would require buying more yarn, which I am not doing currently at the moment. Not since Sunday. That'll be in my vlog next week. Okay, that's row 3. Alright. Yeah, so I'm just trying to come up with new things to make. I mean, I've got all these beads sitting over here. I need to figure out a better pattern for like keychains, wristlets, lanyards. I do need to figure that out. I mean, I pretty well much have a lanyard pattern ready, but if I want it to be, I don't know, just a little bit more special, I can make it a little bit more special. I just need to get to the point where I can do it, because sometimes it just, crocheting with beads, it just doesn't look like there's the same amount of stitches on either side. One side always looks like it's got way more stitches than the other, and I don't fully understand why that happens. So I'm either going to have to knit it or figure it out to where it doesn't look ridiculous. Because the whole point of doing things, coming up with a variety of items, is actually getting rid of a lot of my stash of other things I've got laying around. I've got so many beads right now, it's crazy. And I need to figure out a way to use them up because I would like to buy more beads, but I need to get rid of the ones I do have. And until I can figure out what to do with them, I'm kind of stuck with them. Okay, that was row 5. Row 6. Yeah, I got beading thread and I've got clasps and stuff like that, but I am so out of practice making that stuff. I mean, if I sit down and try, I could probably remember how to do things. I think I lack crimp beads, and I also broke my crimping tool thinking it was a cutting tool, and I broke it. So I don't have a bead crimper tool anymore. I'm gonna have to eventually get another one of those. Yarn. It's all twisted. 6. 2 more rows and this color is done. And then I'll attach the lilac. And then our varsity yellow will be done. But it can remain on the desk because I'm not going to get up and put it away in the middle of the session. Darn it. Stop fighting me. It's my time. No, plenty of time. I think I can get these 2 days done before the timer runs out. At least I'm hoping. Okay, that's row 7. Here's row 8. Yeah, I've got to, as soon as summer actually hits, like in June, I have to start making things for winter. Which, if I thought about this beforehand, I would have done a lot of stuff in winter for summer. But I'm trying to remember. I was like, I was thinking about markets and all that stuff instead of doing it online. Then I decided, oh, well, I don't want to do markets. I just want to do things online. So I didn't get as much done as I would have liked to. That was row 8. On that regard, all right, I need lilac. Just throw it over here so it's not like way over there. So I'm hoping to be on point once summer rolls around. I need to make stuff for winter. And then when that gets closer, I can put them online. Probably starting in like September. That way I have a good stockpile. And just continue making winter stuff until like, oh, I don't know, February. Which I'm hoping to be moved out of here before that. So I have space. Because right now I've got all of my product in like various containers and stuff. And it's like all over the place. And I want to get to the point where I can have it all contained in one area and out of the way. And I can't really do that here because lack of space. Okay. Now we can start on our lilac. Maybe if we just not have our yarn be ridiculous. Can you please come back over to this needle? There we go. Now we can go. Yeah, because all my products, except for one thing, is in my living room. And I don't want them in my living room. They need to be contained somewhere else. I don't know if putting them in a box in my room is going to make a difference, because I really don't have space in there either. Got too much crap. I gotta go through all that stuff and decide if I want to keep it, donate it, or pitch it. And once I get the shop going, I can actually maybe start doing that, so I'm not focused so much on getting stock ready as I can like get ready to pare down the stuff that I do have here and make myself some more room. I've got a drum set I still need to get rid of because I do not need it. I don't have space for it. And it's taking up a lot of space in my corner over there. It needs to go. There we go. It was row 2. It's time 16 minutes. Should be enough time to finish this date and then get started on the 30th. However, it won't be enough time to finish that, and I will do that after I finish recording. That way I can get ready and do the border and all that fun stuff. Ugh, don't sneeze, don't sneeze, don't sneeze. Itchy. I have to remember to keep marking the rows off so I don't get lost. Next one will be Varsity Gold and Lilac. Which Varsity Gold is sitting right there, and Lilac is what I'm using right now. Yeah, I'm not all chatty at the moment. I'm concentrating. Probably just concentrating a little too hard. In between the coughing fits I keep having. Dreary weather is keeping me just down. I mean, I feel fine except for getting rid of the cough. Come on. So if I'm not talking, it's because I'm trying to keep from the coughing fit. Should have been row 5. 3 more rows and this day is done. I gotta pause for a minute. Alright, I'm back. Now I'm gonna restart my timer here with 12 minutes and 13 seconds left. I finished row 6. I got 2 more to go. This is row 7. Don't drop your stitches. Maybe if I had, like, I don't know, some kind of background music going on in the quiet spots. I don't know. I don't know how much of a pain that would be to build into these sessions. Maybe some kind of just low piano thing, classical, that I would play, and then like do a couple of tracks and then just like loop them. And not have them so loud as background music. Because I know background music, if it's too loud and somebody's talking, it does get a little distracting and it makes it hard to understand what they're saying. So that's why I haven't done it. And I'm an audio engineer, so I would know how to keep things really, really low in the mix. That way you don't have to try to hear me over some loud, random music. Okay, that's row 8. So I've got 2 rows of black to do. How are we doing on our time? It's less than 10 minutes, which is definitely not enough time to complete April 30th, but we will do our best and get as far as we can. Purple out of the way. Maybe. Pink. Sorry, not purple, a lilac. Right. Now we press on with our daily border colors. Color 2 rows. And the next one will be Varsity Gold and Lilac. Probably will not get the Varsity Gold completed before the timer runs out. But whatever row I'm on, I will finish it. And then end the video. Trying to keep the end from going over to the front side, because that's no fun. If only it was a faster knitter, this would go a lot quicker. All right, and there's our 2 rows, and there's our day 29 of April. So now we will start with Varsity Gold and then use Lilac. But let me mark the day so I don't mess it up. Marked it. Save my file. Varsity Gold and Lilac. Here we go. All right. Two. I was starting to count, but then I'm sitting there thinking, what if you're counting something? You don't need to hear me counting and mess up your count. So I promise not to do that anymore during these Yarn With Me sessions. So if I'm silent, other than trying to get rid of this cough, I might be counting, and that's why I'm silent. Or I'm just super concentrating. One of those. All right. Oops. Let's not twist it here. Right. Okay, and our setup row is set up. Usually. Mark it off. That was row 1. Let's see how far we can get in the last 5-ish minutes. Hoping to at least get the Varsity Gold part completed. But somehow I don't think I will. But I shall give it a shot. Probably just knit in silence till the alarm goes off. Row 4. 4 more to go. I've decided I'm just going to go ahead and do all 8 of these rows and then end the video, which is, there's like a minute, less than a minute and a half left on our timer. And this is, I'm working on row 6. Why not? Let's end on a finish. Two more to go. 38 seconds left. I hear you. Okay. Let me stop that timer here. Okay. And I'm going to finish this row 8. And then we will call it a video. Just 20 little stitches that I'm not going to count out loud. Just in case you're counting. And there we go. I got half of April 30th completed. I will add the lilac color, and then I'll have 2 rows of black, followed by another 18 rows. Is it 18? No. 16. Almost screwed up. 16 rows of black, and then another 20 rows for the border. Bind it off, be done. This strip will be finished tonight before I go to bed. Hopefully you made good progress on whatever project you were working on in this episode. And I shall see you again in the next one. Bye-bye for now.